Hello everybody and welcome back to Millennia. We're in collaboration with Paradox Interactive. Today we're talking units, armies, war and battles. The focus is combat. So let's jump straight into the fight, starting with units. Obviously forming the key part of our armies, trained inside of our regions and unlocked as we progress through the game. The different types are key here. Take a look at this line unit, powerful against cavalry and later armored units. Or its counter, a ranged unit like the modern machine gun, with modifiers so strong they can turn the tide of a fight. Likewise, these anti-defensive units like the artillery will absolutely blow away the enemy with their powerful modifiers. Backed up, of course, by their base statistics, attack and defense, and we'll return to these slightly later in the video. It's important to also note that fighting doesn't just happen at land, sea, and of course the air will also play a key role in most combat in Millennia, especially as you move through the ages and dominate these guys. Be aware, of course, you will need the technology to keep up, as well as any vital buildings inside of a city, and any tile improvements. Finally, defensive buildings might also be something worth investing in here. You'll run up against them, and they'll certainly prove a challenge, or they could be used defensively to protect yourself too. But let's get offensive. It's time to wage war. Let's talk about how we now use our units across the world. Firstly, you could look to take down some fairly easy prey early on, capturing quick, vassalized cities. But if you want to move to other opponents, then you'll need to navigate to the Diplomacy tab, where you can first declare hostilities, allowing you to fight them in open, unclaimed territory. Next, you can step it up. Declare war. It's time to fight. Here, you'll now be able to march into their lands and indeed take their cities down. The domain powers are particularly useful here, by the way. Reinforcements to heal your armies in neutral territory, or forced march to literally send them in again in the same turn and give it another go. The domain powers are of course supported by the national spirits too, so building a more detailed, nuanced, perhaps even stronger army could very well lean into some of these powerful abilities. Take note though, as you wage war, chaos will follow, and this can lead to chaotic events that you might want to suppress, and unrest. Civil unrest may also need to be suppressed adequately so that your population focuses on fighting the enemy and not turning on you. And now let's all turn to the battles, the final part of this video. The key thing to remember are those numbers we talked about earlier. Particularly here, we'll look at health and morale. Take this fight as an example. A city militia, a line unit, defending against me and my archer that strikes it down, instantly taking out its morale, leaving it with just a little bit of health remaining. That means the unit is routed, no longer actively engaging in this fight, but not completely destroyed. Largely thanks to this combat modifier, ranged beats line. And as we progress into other fights, we should take note of these different multipliers that have a drastic impact on taking down enemy units and hopefully completely destroying them. The terrain where you're fighting can also have an impact. And overall composition of armies too. Not just their veterancy levels, how much experience they have, but also who they're led by. Normal units can be promoted into leaders, and leaders have a tactics stat that buffs their entire army. In this case, my specific mercenaries leader inside of that national spirit also has a special ability, security detail, allowing me to spawn mercenary units on the go with relatively low morale but high power. These expensive units may not want to hang around too long in a fight. And finally, don't forget to use the Battle Viewer's controls to perhaps expand on the information you're receiving, pause, replay, or watch sections again. And that concludes this video, the final Millennia tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for all of the tutorials, as well as I'm sure plenty more good stuff to come. And thank you for joining me in this series.